We learned about variables and data types in the previous module. Now it is time to deep dive into what operations we can do with these variables. So you guessed it. In this video, we are going to cover Python operators. Let's start with the first category, arithmetic operators, containing the following. Addition, using plus sign, it adds two values. Subtraction, using minus sign, subtracts the right value from the left one. Multiplication, using asterisk, multiplies two values. Division, using slash, divides the left value by the right. This always returns a float. Modulus, using percentage sign, returns the remainder of the division. Exponentiation, using double asterisk, raises the left value to the power of the right one. Floor division, using double slash, this is also a division, but this one returns the integer part. And that's it for the arithmetic operators. Let's go over comparison operators. We have equal equal, which compares if two values are equal. Exclamation mark equal is the opposite, compares if those are not equal. And we also have greater than and less than, along with their combination with equal, which you probably already heard of. And now, to keep the momentum going on, we jump right into assignment operators. We have equal, which is simply assign value to a variable, and the rest, as you probably noticed, we have a combination of equal with the arithmetic operators. Let's bring Visual Studio Code to see some examples. Let's say we have a variable called x, and as a value, we have 5. And for this, I want to add another 5 to this already existing value. So in order to do that, I can do x equal to x plus 5, which by printing this, I will get an 10. Let's see the result. It's 10. So let's say I want to make this simpler with less code. So what I can do is use the assignment operator, which is plus equal, which then it's basically the same thing as we do this one. So let's print this and see. As you can see, it's exactly the same. Now, if I want to do multiplication, for example, I will add, instead of plus, I would add asterisk, and the result will be basically 25. The first rule here would be that the equal is always on the right side, and the operator, the arithmetic operator, would be on the left side. So this is how this basically works. It is safe to use this method as well if it is easier for you, but that's just another way how we can assign things. Now it's time to cover some logical operators, and we will start with AND, which returns true if both statements are true. Let's take the example. So 3 less than 5, which is true, and 6 less than 10, which is also true. So this will return true. But in the second example, 6 less than 5 is false, but 6 less than 10 is true. But considering that only one is true and not both, this will return false. OR operator is less strict. It returns true if at least one of the statement is true. So let's take the examples. 6 less than 5, it's obviously false. Or 6 less than 10, which is true, so overall it will return true. Now 6 less than 5, it's false. Or 11 less than 10, it's also false. So overall this one will return false because not even one of the statement is true. And the last one is not, which basically reverses the result, returning false if the result is true, and vice versa. We are already at the final category, which is special operators. We have two subcategories here. It is identity operators, where we have is, that returns true if both variables are the same object, and is not, which returns true if both variables are not the same object. And membership operators, which contains in, that returns true if a sequence with a specified value is present in the object, or not in, that returns true if a sequence with a specified value is not present in the object. I also prepared some basic operations from each category, so you better understand this. I'm assuming that the first 4 of these, it's pretty clear. Now, the floor division, this will be equal to 3 because 3 in 10 goes only 3 times. But also, because 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, we also have a reminder, and as you can see, when we use modulus, the reminder will be 1. And at the power, it's also quite straightforward. For the assignment operators, I create a variable x, which holds the value 5. At the beginning, I'm adding plus 2. which then x will be equal to 7. After that, I will try to multiply that by 3, which then should be equal to 21. Then this 21, I subtract 1 from it, and the result should be 20. And at the end, 20, it's divided by 4, but this one, it's actually the floor division, which, as I mentioned, will return only the floor result, the integer. Let's see if the results are as expected. And yeah, the results are as expected. For the logical operators, I created only two variables, two booleans, a which is true and b which is false. When I print a and b, it is false because both of them must be true. But for or, a or b, it is true because a, which is at least one of them, is true. And print not a, which a by default is true, the negative will be false because it negates the a. Let's print this, and yep, results are as expected. Now, the identity is a little bit more interesting because I created two lists, x and z, and then for y, I equal to x. And as you can see, x is y, it is true because it points to the same object, because y, it's also x, it is basically the same object. But when I'm printing x is z, would be false because z, even if it has the same values, it's a completely different object. Now, if I try to print x is not z, this will return true because it's basically the opposite side of this, which was initially false. And we are already at the last subcategory, which is membership. I created a list with fruits where we have apple and banana, and I'm printing banana in fruits, which will definitely print true because banana is part of the fruits list. But when I print grape not in fruits, it's also true because I say it is not inside the fruits, and it is true because in the fruits list we don't have any grape. And that's it for this module. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you learned something new today. Please make sure you give some feedback in the comment section about how this goes. I will be posting the next module in about a week, so don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss it. See you next time.